Hi everyone, welcome to Taste to Explore. My name is Darlene, and on this episode I bring to you a classic apple pie, one of my favorites actually. It's called a French apple pie and it's so delicious. So stick around as I walk you over to the ingredients so we can get started. Let's get started. I have a half a cup of light brown sugar, 3/4 cup of white sugar, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. I have a half a teaspoon of salt and a half a teaspoon of ground nutmeg, a couple of dashes of vanilla extract. I got 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter. We're going to use the zest of an lemon and an orange. And then I got golden delicious apples. I have about 8 of them in here. So I'm going to peel them and I'm going to cut them up. And then of course I made a freshly made pie crust. So stick around for that. It's in the freezer. So let's get started. Alright, so I finished cutting up my apples. I peeled them and I chopped them up to bite-sized pieces. And now we're going to cook them on the skillet. Now the reason for cooking them is so that it doesn't have to cook as long in the oven. Now when we cook them in the oven, it's just basically for the top part to get nice and golden brown. For the inside part, which is the apple filling, it's going to be already done. It's going to be already cooked. So now we're going to I put my flame to medium high, and I'm just going to wait until my butter is melted down. So I'm going to zest my orange, and you just want a little bit of the peel. You try not to get the white part. You just want to get the orange. The orange has the flavor. And we just want a teaspoon or so. Just be careful. Don't try to get none of the white part. We just want for flavor. And it's going to give it a nice fragrant accent, a nice bright taste to the sugar and the apple and the spices. It's really going to be nice. So a tablespoon, no, I'm sorry, teaspoon. Sorry, I said tablespoon, but I really meant teaspoon. And that's it for that. And we're going to do the same with the lemon. Just a little bit more. I'm going to do a half a teaspoon with this one. That's good. All that lemon goodness right here. Done with the lemon and the orange zest. And now I'm just going to put in the spices right before we're ready to cook it and give it a nice toss. Toss it all around. So it's going to get fully coated when it's cooking. And then we place the sugars. Alright, so there you have it. Now let's put it to the stove. On medium heat, I'm just going to cook this down just until it gets nice and juicy. I'm going to wait a little bit before I put the sugars in there. Alright, so now we're just cooking it down some. Now the reason why I chosen Golden Delicious, it holds up its shape more. It's not soft. Some apples are just too soft and they're just gonna turn to mush. So we don't want that. So we just pick the Golden Delicious. It's tart, which goes perfect because we're just gonna be adding the sugar in here and the brown sugar. So with the tart flavor plus the sugar that we're adding, it gives it a really good flavor to the whole pie. And we're just going to stir this up. Now you don't have to add any liquid because apples naturally are very juicy and the sugars will draw out its natural juices. However, it might be just a little bit too juicy for the pie, and we're going to put about a tablespoon of flour. And I'm just going to let this marinate a little bit more in here, cook down some, and then I'm going to add the flour in another 2 minutes. Alright, so I cooked down my apples. They cooked down for about 5 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes. And you see how it's nice and juicy but not too watery? That's because of the flour that we put in there. And I just turned off the stove. I want this to cool down just a tad bit. And then I'm going to put my vanilla extract towards last. So I put about 2 teaspoons. And now I'm just going to mix this in and get my pie out, my pie crust out of the freezer. And we can proceed to the next. Alright, so now let's get started on a streusel topping. I have here a cup of light brown sugar and a cup of old-fashioned oats. I have 1/3 cup of regular sugar and 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter. I have 2 teaspoons of cinnamon and 1/4 cup of, 1/4 cup of flour. I have my pie crust, homemade, fresh. I will leave you the link down below to the recipe of this. And my apples are cooled down and ready to get put in the pie crust. But first, let's start on the streusel. So right now I have my fork and I'm just gonna combine everything. You know how brown sugar is, it tends to clump, so you make sure that you unloosen everything up, and then we're just gonna combine in no particular order. You know, there are a tons of ways to do an apple pie, and of course I will bring you all the other ways to do it. But this is my ultimate favorite, so you know I have to bring you this one first. So I'm just making sure that everything is well combined. And you put the other sugar, and it's gonna be phenomenal. Now with the butter. I just place the butter in there. Now you just have to mix it in, and I might have to get it in with my hands because I don't think the fork is going to do anything. So we're just going to combine this really well until it just dissolves in here and it just looks like coarse sand, coarse wet sand. So now let's assemble this. Now we take our apple mixture, and I have placed this, oh I made a little mess. I have placed this on a 9-inch deep pie crust. You want to do that because this is gonna fill up quite much, as you can see. And then we're gonna start on our streusel. This is a perfect dessert for the holidays or for whenever you're in the mood to eat a classic apple pie. So delicious, folks. So good. And it's nothing like a homemade apple pie. It just puts the mood right. It just, oh my God, it's just phenomenal. And you want to spread this around. all the little nooks and crannies. You want to layer it up. Layer this bad boy up. Because this what really makes the pie so delicious. It's like, forget it. Delightful. Alright, so now I'm going to put this in the oven for 350, sorry about that. And we're going to cook this for about 45 minutes, just until the top gets golden brown. And I see you right back when that's done. Hi everybody, welcome back. Well, my pie is all done. And it took 40 minutes to bake in the oven. And now it's just sitting down for about a good 30 minutes to cool off. You need it for it to cool off for 30 minutes because it is extremely hot and you don't want to get burned in the process. But it's still warm, so that's okay. So now let's dig in. Well, let's see what area I'm going to cut it in. It's going to probably crack up anyway because, oh, you hear that crunch, crunch, crunch? I love it. This is like, I told you, this is my favorite pie. They have different names for it. Some people call it a French apple pie or a Dutch apple pie. Whatever it is, it tastes delicious. And I'm cutting it pretty oddly, so forgive me for that because I don't really care. I just want to get it out of here so I can eat it. Because I'm not a perfectionist. I don't care if I make some mistakes. As long as it tastes good. That's all I'm saying. Okay, it's all wide, but it's okay. Oh, just be careful how you cut it. Look, nice. It's not going to be like a cake. It's not going to come out at its best, but certainly going to be delicious on your holiday table or whenever you want to make this in any given day of the year. So let's taste. Okay. I want some crunch. I want some apples. Apple, crunch, everything. Ooh, it's okay. Wow. When you make this for your family, they're gonna be like, that's a wow. And you're gonna be like, yep. So delicious. Full of flavors, everything marries together. It is phenomenal. Check it out. Make it. Let me know. I guarantee you, you're gonna love it. So thank you guys for joining me. Give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and follow me on my social medias. And I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.